Hey folks, are you there? Are you still there? Do you realize the last half an hour I had clicked the go live button and I have to get used to StreamYard again. There's a secondary go live button. I did the whole show and we were already in the captain's cabin. I thought talking to you and I was wondering why nobody was calling in or answering. If you're still there, raise your hands. We've got one person out there and it might be too late. So I hope, I see two people coming in. So this is Scotty Roberts. You're watching The Captain's Cabin and my captain's log that comes from the captain's cabin. And I hope it's not too late to redeem our audience, but I just did the whole thing for a half an hour and didn't realize there was a secondary start button that I missed. So here we are. We may have to push this log off for tomorrow night because it's possible nobody saw it. But if you're here and you want us to go ahead a half an hour late, let's go ahead. I don't know how to get the word out there to everybody that we are now live, other than I think it will show on Facebook. Let me find out. Let's see. Yes, it is starting to play on Facebook. So now maybe even my Instagram would play. No, it won't, because I already turned Instagram off. So let's just go ahead. Now, you can call it. I'm doing fine, Steve. Thank you. Other than irritated, my perfectionism is irritated when I do stuff like that. So why don't we do this? I'm just going to start from scratch and say, hey, I had a great dress rehearsal. So, yeah, there it is, Steve. An unexpected dress rehearsal. So let's go ahead and do tonight's captain's log. And I don't like glitches like this. Anybody who watched Intrepid Radio for years knows when we'd have glitches, I would get irritated off the edge. But I'm okay. Learning to manage my anger, my angst. So, hey, Johan, good to see you. Johan or Joanne, however you say that. So, Steve, good to see you. Is Michelle Canham-Free still here? Is Field Guy still here? I don't know. So, everybody, come on back. Field Guy said, I didn't break anything yet. Anyways, that was all my fault, folks. I didn't press the secondary button, which I don't remember being there in the StreamYard before. So, we had a great dress rehearsal with me talking to myself for a half an hour. Let's go back. For me, go back. For you, brand new. And tonight, the captain's log is release without retreat. But before we go there, I have a quote I want to start with. I'm reminded of something that Carl Jung once wrote. And remember, Carl Jung was one of the early fathers of modern psychology, a contemporary of Sigmund Freud. And he said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it's going to direct your life, and you're going to call it fate. So some nights, the unconscious rises like fog around the ship. With these captain's logs, it's all about the maritime metaphors, but some nights the unconscious rises like fog around the ship, not because something catastrophic has necessarily happened, not because anyone has failed, but because the waters around us are deep. The currents below don't always match the calm that we're trying to hold above. And that's what the log is about tonight. Release without restraint. And for those of you joining us, sorry for the delay. That was all my fault. I actually did the show, but we weren't live and I didn't know it. So here we go. Release without restraint. There's going to be a moment in every long watch when you realize that the storm is no longer the thing that's trying to break you. The storm itself. You went through that. It broke you. It devastated you, whatever your storm is. This is why I use my personal experiences over the last year to illustrate some of these points. But you've been here long enough now that the waves no longer shock your system. The deck still pitches, the alarms still murmur, but inside, you are no longer scrambling for footing. And you know what? This isn't numbness. This is resolve. We're going to talk about what resolve is here. Sometimes we say resolve, it's immutable, it's unchangeable. This is my resolve and this is where I am. And it has to be. But it's resolve that comes because I have to be here to navigate out there. I am resolved. Resolved isn't clenched fists or teeth that are ground to dust. Resolve is when your bones remember who they belong to. When your breath stops asking permission. When your spine straightens without any kind of fanfare. And somewhere in that steadiness, you encounter something deeper, and that is sovereignty. Now, we think of sovereignty in monarchical terms. The king is sovereign over his country. The United States has sovereignty over the Virgin Islands, or whatever it might be. Sovereignty is not control over others in the sense I'm talking about it. Sovereignty is command over yourself. It's the reclamation of your inner territory after it's been invaded by expectation, accusation, opinion, noise. And don't tell me you're not susceptible to that. We all are. By the external things that are thrown at us. We're expected to do this, or act this way, or do that. We're expected to respond to people's opinions. Now, you know what you ought to do. And this is the moment you have to remember in sovereignty that your life is not a courtroom. And you are not required to defend your existence to spectators. Some people might not like what I do here on the captain's logs. I don't care. I'm not in anybody else's courtroom over this. I'm responsible for me. That is what I am sovereign over. Because you know what? There's always going to be bystanders that are looking at you and are going to give you their opinions and tell you what you should be doing. But you know what? Those are the people all around us, and I know you've experienced this. You might even be in the thick of it now. They watch the fragments and they decide that they understand the whole, and they don't. I've seen so many comments on social media regarding some of my situations that are people who have no fucking clue. None whatsoever about what's really going on. But they've got to render their opinions. They are the people who watch the fragments and decide that they understand the whole. Oh, I know what you should be doing now. Listen to me. People who choose sides without understanding the cost of standing where you stand. People who speak loudly about what you should do. I know what you should do. Because they don't have to live inside the consequences. Do you realize that anytime anybody is offering them, now here's what you should do, and they speak loudly about it, they can do that with some kind of bravado and confidence because they don't have to live inside the consequences. and when you're already bruised, when you're already making impossible, unexpected choices you thought you'd never have to make, and you're already trying to survive with dignity, that noise can feel like another wave meant to knock you overboard. But sovereignty is going to tell you this: you do not belong to the crowd. I may present myself to the crowd, share what I am on the inside, but I don't belong to the crowd. And take no offense at this. I don't really care what the crowd has to say to me, because I am sovereign over who I am and what's on my inside. Your pain is not public property. Your process is not a referendum. Your restraint is not weakness just because it doesn't perform for an audience. You would not believe the kind of restraint I have put myself under. That doesn't mean I don't grieve. My sovereignty doesn't mean I don't have pain. It means this is the path I choose to act in, to be able to attain clarity and heal my own heart. And I'm saying that so it applies to you too. You do the same thing. You have to. Sovereignty means you decide what enters your inner chamber and what stays outside the bulkhead. It means you can hear options and opinions without letting them colonize your compass. It means that you can be misunderstood without becoming defensive or small. I'm going to block you off my social media because you don't understand me and you don't agree with me. You're not in my echo chamber. You can be misunderstood without becoming defensive or small. It means you can remain human and humane. You can love through restraint. You can love through your sovereignty, but you can't sacrifice your sovereignty to do it. And this is where restraint reveals its true nature. Restraint is not silence born of fear of what others will think, fear of my own decisions, fear of doing the wrong thing, whatever. Restraint is not silence born of fear. It's silence born of choice. It's knowing that not every accusation deserves oxygen. Some do. Some you need to listen to. There's no wisdom without listening to everything that's offered up. Blocking everything that's offered up that doesn't agree with you is the farthest thing away from wisdom you can get. So if you're not letting wisdom in the room, you're not making sovereign choices. You're being guided by novelty, excitement, adventure, wanting to do what you want to do as opposed to doing what you know is the wise, right thing to do. And you don't need anybody to tell you that. You need to figure it out yourself. So, not every accusation deserves oxygen. Not every misunderstanding requires correction. Not every observer is entitled to your interior world. But tonight, say this with me tonight. I remain at my post. Not because I'm frozen in place, but because I am sovereign here. And I became sovereign here because I opened the door and gave a welcoming seat to wisdom. Release, then, becomes something absolutely sacred. I release not because I don't want to have to think about it and I don't want to have to listen to anything and I'm going to make up my own mind. Release comes because you've incorporated truth, honesty, wisdom, not just feelings of what I want to do. Apply that to your situations. Release becomes something sacred because I release the need to be validated by those who only skim the surface. They don't know nothing. I release the urge to explain myself into exhaustion. And God bless you all. I love you all. I get so many calls and letters and emails and messages of people just want to check in on me. And I love it. Steph Cuervo Queen, if you're sitting out there in the chat room, she called me and we talked. Michelle Canham Free and I talked. And there's lots of other people that I talk with. And sometimes I find there's an urge to explain myself. And I can explain myself into utter exhaustion over and over again. So I release outcomes that I can't command. It's not like, well, I can't command that, so I'm releasing it. No, I release the outcomes of things that I have no command over, no control over. They're not mine to command or control. I have to release those outcomes without retreating from who I am. Because release doesn't mean retreat. It means loosening the grip without abandoning the rope. It means standing fully present without grasping for a control that was never mine to have. There is dignity in staying that has nothing to do with winning, and sometimes nothing to do with what you want, but everything to do with self-respect, truth, honesty, and wisdom. So tonight, I loosen my hands, but I don't leave my station. I want you to say that yourself. I loosen my hands, but I don't leave my station. I stop narrating my pain, but I don't deny it. And it might be the pain that you narrate to the other person. They don't need to hear it. They already know. You have to release that. I stop signaling distress, but I don't pretend that the sea is calm. I stand, breathing, watching, whole. And if anyone else listening to my voice is sitting out there tonight, tired, judged, misread, trying to make the best choices they can with a heart that's already been through hell and back, maybe not even back yet, hear this clearly. Your sovereignty matters. Your restraint is not absence. Your resolve is not invisible. Remain at your post. Not as an act of endurance, but as an act of authorship. This is who I am and who I must be. This is not waiting. This is command. The word has been given. Let's do some affirmations. If you don't remember these as we do them, you can come back and watch them again. I am sovereign over my inner world. I don't owe my process to spectators. I release what I cannot control without retreating from who I am. My restraint is chosen, not forced. I'm not forced into restraining myself. I choose it. For purpose, for sovereignty, for healing, for clarity, for wisdom to take root. I remain at my post with dignity, clarity, and self-respect. So, here's the benediction, and this will end the captain's log, and if you want to, after this, stick around, and we'll chat it up a little bit for as ever long as you want to. The benediction tonight. May you remember that your life is not a debate. Your pain is not public property. May your restraint remain strong and your footing sure. May you release the weight of others' opinions without surrendering your ground. May you make sure the ground you're not surrendering is true, not just what you want. Truth, honesty, imbued with wisdom, not imbued with excitement and the need to do what you just want to do. It's all about applying wisdom. Stand sovereign at your post, knowing that staying is not weakness. It's command. And the most important thing, stay the course. All right, folks, here we are. I'm going to cut it off there when I upload this to other sources. That's going to be the archive. That's the captain's log. Don't usually have to explain to your audience how you do things, how you edit, what you're all about, but there it is. So now, free for all here. I'm going to paste the link if anybody would like to call in and talk. Because now this is your chance. You can give me feedback. We can talk about other things. But we've been, hey, Kelly Bell, good to see you. So let's loosen up a little bit after the captain's log, and let's talk a little bit. I'm going to take a moment while you're thinking. Just my book is available. This is the hardcover version, and you all know it's out there. We're going to be doing much stronger launch here coming up over the next week. So you're going to hear about it a lot more. It's not a long book. It's roughly 27 to 30,000 words. Whereas like my book on the Nephilim was 40,000 plus. The Exodus reality I wrote with John Ward was 80,000. So Adriana Mess is waiting for hers to come in the mail. All right, Adriana, fantastic. Thank you and welcome to the show. I'm going to go back and look at some of the comments too. But one of the best places, if you don't have it already, it comes in hardback and softcover. And you can get them. One of the coolest places, you can just go to Amazon and look it up because the links are insufferably long to post. Or you can go to Rocky Stucci, put up an author page for me for this book. Go to this link, buythefirst12days.com. And buy, B-U-Y, as in purchase. And it's got more than just a link to purchase the book. But here, I'm going to paste that link. This is Rocky Stucci, what he's doing for his own business now for a lot of his clients. And he built this site for me. You can go over and you can see all kinds of things over on that site. It's not just about a link to buy the book, but you can go in there and you can see the journey, the author, the words, the impact, and several different things in there. And if you don't know me, you can meet me over there. You can just text. And it's sometimes I read some of this stuff and it feels so self-serving because such nice things that are put up here about me. But there's a place, words from the journey. They're quotes from the book. And you can scroll through these. I'm looking at one right now. It says, Day 8. Remember the first 12 days. Day 8, reconstruction. They fitted me with the prosthetic on Tuesday morning. Cold metal and carbon fiber. The architecture of my new reality. I took my first step and fell. And then I stood again and again. Each attempt a small rebellion against the gravity of despair. Day 12, resilient dawn. 12 days from collapse to first steps, from shadow to light. I'm not the same man who entered that hospital. I am tempered steel, forged in fire. Proof that resilience isn't about avoiding the fall. It's about the rise from that follows. This is not an ending. This is Genesis. And he's got here, Day 1. It's the last one of these I'll read. You can go look at them yourself. Day 1, descent. The fluorescent lights hummed above me, sterile and indifferent. I couldn't feel my left leg. The doctors spoke in hushed tones. Words like amputation and infection floated past like ghosts. This was the moment, the precipice between who I was and who I would become. And by the way, I don't know what that beep was if you heard it. No clue. So there you go. Did I see Jay here? Is here? Jay here? So let's go through some of your comments. Oh, no, that's somebody calling in. That is Lord Emperor Fieldy. Let's add him to the stage. Field guy, how you doing? You there? He might have stepped away. When you come back, wave at me or something so I can see you down below. Then I'll know you're there. I wasn't in this window. Sorry. So let's see. Who else is in here? Oh, you know what I wanted to play for you? Hey, Fieldy, just before I bring you in, I see your hand. I am going to play a little something. Remember I told you Rocky and I are doing a new radio show that we just devised yesterday called Cognitive Chaos Radio. Cognitive Chaos Radio. Rocky and me. And we talked about it last night. But something I didn't mention was that Wendy Robertson, my podcast wifey, and I are going to reprise Robertson. And if you ever watched that show, we were on at 4 in the afternoons, I think, just one day a week. And talked about lots of different topics, about relationships, about all kinds of things. And she sent me this little video that I want to play for you. And it's just, I'm going to play 2 short videos for you here right now. And this is the one she sent me today. Logos on this. Robertson. So we ran our show for about a year and a half, and it ended in September of 2024. Not for any reason, I just got some illness. I had all my stuff started Christmas of 2024, and then here was our main entry into the show. The show this musicals stay the same, but I do a little updating. Robertson, bridging the pond. She's in London, I'm in Wisconsin, and we kind of subtitled it. Robertson, bridging the pond. It's really because So we'll let you know when that's closer. And we have some dates set up. Very near future. Watch for that. And I'll let you know what's going on. So stand by for that. And it'll be good to be doing that again and fun to be doing that. So Field Guy, I'm going to bring you in now. All I see is your little Saints logo. So there you are. Let's bring you in. Field Guy. I got no sound from you. No sound. Edit mic settings. I'm hearing nothing from you, brother. Can you hear me? Yeah, my mic's on. My sound's up. I don't know what you're trying to tell me. Let's see. Your mic is on. I do not have you muted. I'm not sure why it's doing that. That's weird. I wonder if it's because I'm in StreamYard. Remember, we had some problems with that when Wendy and I were doing our show, picking each other up live. I'm not sure what's going on. We had to do something else. So tell me what you're doing, Field Guy. Let me know where you're going. Steve says the reviews are stacking up on Amazon. Yes, and thank you for yours, Steve. By the way, if any of you read the book, I would love it if you would go leave a little review over on my Amazon page. That helps the sales of the book over there. So, I'm going to go back to some of the comments, and we'll take it from there. We'll go through some of these. Wow, there's a lot of comments tonight. Thank you, everyone, for commenting. Let's see. That's where I saw that something was up when Steve said there must be a delay. So he said a warm hello from Colorado. If you want to call in, I am going to paste the link again over here in the chat room. So, let's see. Unexpected dress rehearsal. Yep. I didn't break anything. Not yet, says Field Guy. And looking good, says Steve. Field Guy says, I came back. I'm glad you did, Field Guy. Let's see if we can get you on. Johan came in. You pronounced it right the first time. Steve said, one more time with feeling. That's about it. And I know that fog, says Steve. Talking about the fog that rises around the ship. Roger was here. I don't know if he ever made it back. No, he was here after we came back on. So good evening, he says. I have to rewatch the first half hour. Roger, you didn't miss anything because I wasn't here. A little glitch in the system. The human being in the system. We started late because of that. So I'm going to skip over some of these. Hello, hola. Carly Sagan is here. Good evening, Scotty and everyone. I'm here. Just be listening for a bit while I finish up bedtime. And Michelle Cannon Free sends hearts. Everybody send money. Oh, let's see. Field Guy, it's too early to sleep, he says. Everybody's talking. Steve says, yeah, I need to hear this. We're conditioned to need to explain ourselves all the time, aren't we? Isn't that the truth? I got to explain. No, let me explain. Let me let you know. Sometimes it's reading something somebody says and you're just burning, saying, I want to just tell that person off because they don't know shit. Johan says, I stand still in being me. I release. Let's see. Michelle says, I'm a former people pleaser. I just wanted friendship so desperately. Now I'm good all by myself. Exactly. Let's see. Steve says, I'm a recovering people pleaser too. Let's see. Be still and know that I am God, says Michelle. Dignity intact, no matter the circumstance. Adriana Metz said, hi, Scotty. Michelle said, Steve, I'm proud of you. That's always good to hear a little encouragement. Kelly Belmoran came in. Hey, Scotty. Johan says, I am not God. God is in me, with me. Without God, I am nothing. Michelle said, congratulations, Captain. You survived your hardest day. If you weren't here last night, I said last night, yesterday was probably the most rock bottom I have ever felt. And I almost didn't come in last night to do this. I just had nothing left. Let's see. I declare the delivery even better than the rehearsal. Thank you, Steve. Should have heard the rehearsal. Michelle says, spiritual warfare, and we're all in the thick of it. Ain't that the truth? Johan loves Rocky. Rocky's fantastic. Good friend. Johan says, you're a better man now. Thank you. I hope so. I'm trying to be. It seems the last few years, I've said over and over again, through the thick and the thin, through my ups and downs, through my goodness and my mistakes, I've always said, how can I be a better man? And be strong and be a better man. Captain Hook, says Johan. Oh, any of you out there haven't seen it? I'll just show you. Just because it's fun to do. And I can do it. Shebang. There it is. There's the false leg. Carbon steel. And it's heavy, but it feels lighter than my real leg did. So, this one's a little harder, and I don't know why. But there you go. And I still, for those of you who don't know this, I shed almost 70 pounds that last few months of all this. So it's still off, I still don't eat very well. But anyway, at least I'm not drinking my lunch. Steve goes to look for a flag for Lord Emperor. We all fall. It's about how quickly we get back up. This is truth. The eternal phoenix rising, indeed. And then Barbie D says, are you still there, Barbie D? Welcome. I don't know if I said hi to you or not. Glad to see you here. Sometimes it just takes me a while to get back up. Yeah, all of us still getting up. Just when Peter Pan thought he could come sweep all the Wendy's, the captain showed up. There it is. Lots of irons in the fire, says Michelle. I love the R&R episode on setting boundaries. Yes, Steve. We're going to come back and do more of that. And the mermaids showed up. Yeah, exactly, Johan. Can nobody hear me? Am I not being heard? Can you all hear me? Are people not hearing me? I didn't do the whole show again and nobody could hear me, did I? If you can hear me, say so. Oh, that would be glitch of glitch. Wish I knew why no sound. It's StreamYard sabotage. Do I have no sound? Oh, Kalina says she can hear me. Hey, Kalina. Kalina. I can hear you, says Kelly Bell. Okay, good. Roger and Carly can hear me. Pamela's asked below, hey, I'm late. She says, hey, Pamela. So I'm watching Star Trek, the one with the alternative universe. The Mirror Universe. Which Star Trek are you watching? The old one? Mirror, Mirror, it's called. The original series. You know, Pamela, if you haven't seen it yet, you need to go watch the episodes of Star Trek Continues. If you've not heard of it, Pamela, have you heard of it? Go to StarTrekContinues.com. They were a fan series, which are generally abysmally horrid, but this was phenomenal. And you can go, the guy who plays Kirk is Vic Mignola. There's a series, you can only find it online now, because Paramount cracked down on even fans doing their own fan films, because it was their own. You couldn't make any money, and even if you didn't make money, they said, you can't do this, it's our property, and we'll sue you if you do. But, Pamela, go to StarTrekContinues.com. And I think all those episodes that they made are free over there. They did the most awesome job of recreating the look and feel of the original series. And it's outstanding. And I would highly recommend. When you said you're watching Mirror, Mirror, one of the original Trek episodes, you remember where that ends, and Kirk and Scotty and Uhura were going to beam back to their universe. Spock with the beard is behind the console, and he says, I don't know what he said, but right at the end of that episode, he says something like, I think he's repeating, you have 12 seconds or something, but Kirk has to say something to him, whatever it is. And he says, I will give it consideration, says Spock. Well, what's interesting, Mignola and his crew in Star Trek Continues picked that episode up by doing their own episode where the moment that one ends, and it's one of their best episodes they did. So go check it out when you have time, Pamela. I think you'll really enjoy it. So, Pamela, those of you who didn't hear last night, went to high school. We were in different classes, but I think she was a class ahead of me. But we were in the youth group stuff and all that in our big church. And so I've known Pamela for a long time. And we just reconnected on Facebook not long ago. So, anyway, still got that sitting up. Yeah, somebody call in and test the sound and see if it was only Field Guy that was having a problem. Captain Pike said, hope is a choice. You're talking about Star Trek Strange New Worlds? I love that show. So when Field Guy called in, he couldn't hear me. Or I couldn't hear him. Somebody call in and let me know if I can hear you. So. I was going to see if I was going to post a link for Star Trek Continues, but it's so easy. StarTrekContinues.com. So, I don't have my glasses on. StarTrekContinues.com. Site can't be reached. Oh, no. Is it down? Oh, I misspelled it. That's all. Hold on. So I get for not having my glasses on. There it is. Yep. StarTrekContinues.com. And if you are familiar or a fan of the old original series, you can take a look at this and some of even the stills that they post up there and see how accurate this is to the original series, from the lighting to the costumes. Everything was so well done. The sets were perfect. And if you're a Trek fan, you'll really enjoy it. And of course, you have to get used to it's other actors playing these characters, but there you go. All right. Anybody going to call in? If you're not, you're posting that Pike quote tomorrow? Okay. I'm missing your meaning, but so many glitches, Field Guy. I don't know. I don't know what happened, Fieldy. So here's what we're going to do. Since it's already 10:18, I had a dress rehearsal for the first 32 minutes because I realized I was not actually broadcasting. So we started all over again at 10:32 this evening. So Pamela, when you came in late, you weren't a half hour late. You were almost on time. So everybody, thank you for being here. Hey, Mark Wojcik. And Wojcik, I could never say your name right. Good to see you, brother. What's peace, Scotty? And I'm doing all right. So I'm doing these captain's logs, which are about 10 minutes a day, and have been doing them for months. And now we're starting to just open it up at the end if people want to talk, and we yap it up a bit. And now we're getting ready to sign out. So everybody, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me your time. And for old time's sake, I think, why don't I play, let's play the exit to, I'm going to play my own art ad for my business. No, I'm not going to. I'm just going to play the exit. It's 1 minute long. So everybody, thanks for being here. This was the old Captain's Cabin Outgo. And so we'll see you next time for the Captain's Log. Good night.